G'day everyone, and welcome to some War Thunder ships. Yes, that's right, ships have finally dropped. Uh, I don't know what to think about them yet. I've yet to check out everything entirely. I've yet to hop into a proper battle. And yes, I did buy the Carl Golster. I don't know why. I'm interested. I'm very interested to see how it goes. As you can see, we're in the port, which is where the BV-238 and the MBR-2 normally sit. This is actually surprisingly exciting. I didn't think I would get excited for this, but here I am. Regardless, one thing I did find very interesting is the research tree. If you have a look, all the arrows go sideways rather than down, and if you go into the plane and tank trees, the arrows only go down. I don't know if that's a bug or if that's meant to be that way, but it seems like we've got some interesting vehicles in here. They're laid out really funny. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe someone could explain it to me. Perhaps they're meant to be that way, but regardless, looks like we get some very interesting vehicles. Of course, we have the SF-40s, which we'll preview here. That's just weird. That's weird. I imagine that would be an absolute bitch to fly, to sail. But it looks interesting anyway. Damn. Personally, I've never been a ship kind of guy. I've always sort of been a plane guy. But you never know. Maybe this will change my interests. I am more of a plane guy. When War Thunder tanks came, I did become a bit more of a tank kind of guy, but still planes have been my love. Regardless, I'm actually a little bit hyped. I'm not gonna lie. This seems quite interesting. It seems that we've got only 4 tiers at the moment, and to get up the tiers, you only need to unlock a couple. Remember, this is still in closed beta testing, so it's not final for sure, and it's definitely a work in progress. And if any of you have any issues with anything, I would suggest that you go on the forums and voice your opinion that way. Make sure you do it in a measured manner as well, in order to get the most from Gaijin. Now, one thing everyone was sort of looking at were the crew. How would you increase the level of your crews? And it seems that here we have our crew skills. So for the ship commander, you have leadership, which affects just about everything, up to 5%. Crew interchangeability, which allows you to carry a heavier loss. Okay. Wow. So basically, you could have higher survivability by about 5 to 10%. Damn. I don't know what to think about that. Radio communication. Yep. Target vision. Okay. Does that only information is relevant to realistic battles? Perhaps that could mean that the ship actually physically appears and disappears. I'm not too keen on that. Maybe a marker appears over it. I think I would much prefer that. Or I'm not really sure how this is going to work, but we'll see. So we have observers. This is what I was looking for. Okay. I noticed in the closed beta testing, the pre-CBT, that ships tended to shoot down aircraft very, very easily, and I thought it was a bit overpowered, and I think a lot of people could agree with me on that. This is the skill that sort of assists that, and you can get an extra up to 2.5Ks out of that. Jesus. It's still 7.5 base. So that's pretty significant. That's very significant. Surface detection, surface target detection, total top. I'm not sure what these refer to. Ground target detection skill affects the distance of naval and ground objects. Markers. Okay. This is where the markers appear, rather than here. Oh, okay. So the radio range is how close you are to your team. Okay, I get that now. Enemy torpedo detection distance. Ooh, wow. 380 meters. That might be interesting. That might be very interesting. Engine room. Ship control. That's basically like driver for your tank. Fire prevention. Fire preparation of engine room. Reduce the chances of a fire in the engine room, the engine compartment, the transition. That would make sense because some crews may find methods of preventing fires, like perhaps having a bucket ready or something. I don't know. I don't know ships. This is all new to me, so, Gunners. Yep, pretty standard. Main caliber reload, auxiliary caliber reload. AA, reload, accuracy, and distance fuse. Ooh, distance fuse set. Okay, so that's similar to on your aircraft. This one here, weapons maintenance. Okay. It seems like they're just translating most of these from tanks to ships, which is about what I expected and about what is appropriate. Damage control, unwatering. Oh god, they still haven't translated that properly. I think that should be like, I don't know what to properly call it, but unwatering just doesn't sound right. Total time 50 seconds. We'll see. This is CBT after all. They could add and remove stuff. So fire extinguishing, yeah, that's all right. Especially considering that we should have infinite fire extinguishers. Let's have a look at the modifications. And well, we'll see. We'll see. They look interesting at the moment. Breach repair. Oh my god. 66 seconds. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's total repair time. Okay. Survive leadership. Leadership of the struggle for vitality. Reducing the penalty from the simultaneous launch of all three processes of the struggle. Oh, okay. So, essentially, if you try and control your flooding, extinguish your fire, and repair your tank, your ship at the same time, it will send crew members to all three of them and spread the resources. And this is how efficient you are at spreading your resources, I would assume. That makes a lot of sense. Actually, that's a really clever skill. I like that. I like that. And it seems like it's reasonably cheap to upgrade these as well. I don't remember. I don't know. Potentially, I have to actually. I've got some G left. Let's have a look. Okay. So it's about 1700, and what is it on? I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's about the same. It's roughly the same. Okay. Yeah, I would say that's reasonable. Logistical services, pretty standard, and your qualification, that's pretty standard. Overall, I think that's pretty neat. That's not a bad. That's reasonable. I don't think there's any significant advantage that's already in the game, like repair speed and weapon spread control. Like you look at my plane crew, and I've got this one maxed out just from playing, and you can reduce your weapon spread by like 15 to 20%, and the buffs that you get, that's just buffs from playing the game. Like if you play enough, you'll get these, And I think that's fine. So now that we've had a look at crew, I want to have a look at modifications because I did see something interesting. Dry docking. Cleaning of the ship's bottom from seashells and algae increases maximum board speed. So that's like fuselage repair. Rudder replacement. Replacing the rudder blades and steering mechanisms, increase the turning ability, blah blah blah. That's reasonable. Propeller replacement, yep. Engine maintenance. These are basically translations of the aircraft and ship ones already, aircraft and tanks already. Fire protection system. Ventilation. New pumps. Ooh. So you do still have to research FPE, basically, and your parts. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because it's in tanks. It would be unreasonable for it. I think it would be a bit stupid if they took it out of ships. If you didn't have this, then there would be an excuse to remove them from tanks, and I don't think Gaijin wants to do that. I'm not saying that it's particularly right or wrong. Personally, I would prefer that maybe parts came as a bit cheaper and fire prevention you already had one or something like that. Alright. Panzer Granada 43, Spring Granada L 4.5 BDZ. That's an HE with a base fuse. What? What's a base fuse? I'm not sure what that means. Someone explain that to me in the comments. Improved rangefinder. That's reasonable. Smoke screen. Yep. Torpedo mode. Maximum torpedo traveling distance. Okay. Oh. Oh wow. Okay. So it makes the torpedoes harder to land by 5 meters per second. What's the speed of them normally? 81 kilometers per hour. So it's not that big a difference. Honestly, maybe it would be worth taking them off. Travel distance 6 kilometers. What if I uninstall this? What does it do to them? Doesn't change it. So they have a total range of 14 kilometers, but I don't see anyone using them, the torpedoes, beyond 14 kilometers. We'll see. Anti-air armament targeting. Okay, these are like your adjustment of fire and horizontal speed or whatever it is. Okay. So, turns out you still have to pay for or grind FPE and parts, but you have upgrades to them, which is interesting as well. So, oh, no, wrong one. Modifications. With the ventilation, I think this is interesting. This is quite interesting. This could lead to something for tanks. Like, for a little while now, I've been suggesting that, for example, with tanks, you get an extra FPE through some new research. So, for example, FPE, and then you get, for example, I don't know, a second FPE, like improved fire extinguishing or something like that, as a modification, and that might be pretty interesting, actually. Okay. One thing I did want to cover before I wrap this up is the type of vehicles that we have in the game at the moment. So at the moment we have... Oh, hello. Light cruiser. Ah, that's right. We do have light cruisers now. So we have a couple of light cruisers, destroyers. I'm sure we'll get a heavy cruiser down the line. We're only at 5.0 and the devlogs haven't stopped. So I still think that high tier, like 8.0, 10.0 maybe, will have capital ships, maybe like the Yamato or whatever. I do think it would be unfair to throw something like the Carl Golster, which is a destroyer, or even the Emden 1944, which is a light cruiser, against something like the Yamato, because it would just absolutely ream it. I think I'm not sure about what the armor is and whatnot, but I think I think the planes or the ships with big guns will win out because that's what I've seen in the closed beta. Ooh, ammo elevator. Okay, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Okay, so to get ammo from the magazine to the gun itself, it looks like they're using some sort of elevator to prevent, I don't know, to keep the ammo in a better spot. That's pretty neat. Transmission, yeah, this is all pretty stock standard. I don't know about you, but I think this is going to be fun. This is going to be quite interesting to see how it all goes. Uh, shame they're not the proper thing, but you know, Germany banning swastikas and all. Just on that subject, just very briefly, as I go off topic again, it's not because I support what they did. I think what they did was pretty horrible. But for the sake of reminding us what happened and just keeping it 100% authentic is what makes it memorable, perhaps, is what keeps it true to what it was, and all that sort of stuff. But I think I understand why they've done it. It's because they wouldn't be able to sell their products across the world because places like Germany have banned the swastika. Regardless, if you are interested in participating in the closed beta, you can also have the cowl, which is a, what was it again? Fletcher class. So I think this appears in World of Warships as well as a destroyer. It looks very very similar to the Carl Golster. Oh, it's got belt armor. Oh my god, it's not worth anything. You can pen it with a 50 cal. Jesus Christ. Okay. So it actually does have a little bit of belt armor, which is interesting. It's got a lower top speed, so I think the Carl Golster is going to be the sort of fast, nippy one, and the cowl is going to be the big, heavy one. So that'll be interesting. That'll be really, really interesting. Shame they're not selling the other boats. Oh, the one that we paid for early in the CBT. I know I bought the Russian one because I bought into the hype, but regardless, I wanted to support their project. So I think the money went to a good cause, if you know what I mean. Eventually, I'm sure we'll get capital ships, but for now, I think I'm content with the way this is going. So far, it's proven that low tier, the little torpedo boats, you can sort of run around, derp around, and as you get into high tier, everything is going to be a bit bigger. You've got a couple of destroyers at 3.7, 4.3. At 5.0, you're just going to be fighting all destroyers. What I was expecting was you would have the big destroyers and the torpedo boats fighting with each other, but that doesn't seem to be the case, which isn't too bad after all, I think. I think that's not a bad idea. I'm quite content with the way this has worked out so far. But if there is anything that I feel that could be changed, I will voice my opinions either in a video or on the forums. Perhaps I'll even go to Reddit. For those of you who know me, I don't like to use the subreddit just for personal preference, but it might be a good idea in the long run. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you for watching. If there's any questions you have, anything you'd like me to see, like me to try out, let me know immediately, and I will have a look at it. I will be gone for the next 2 days because I'll be going to a funeral, and after that I'll pretty much be doing nothing. I'm on semester break, so I can make as many videos as I need. Anyway, guys, take care, and I'll catch you next time.